Hi students, today we are going to learn about our third chapter in history, that is the Delhi Sultans. So now we are going to start about it. The Delhi Sultans is an Islamic empire which ruled a large part of India over 320 years. During this period, mainly 5 dynasties were ruled over India as one by another. That means one followed by another one. The first one was the slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty. Second one is the Khilji dynasty. Third one is the Tughlaq dynasty. And fourth one is the Sayyid dynasty. And fifth and last one is the Lodi dynasty. They covered some parts of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and also some parts of the southern Nepal. The slave dynasty. Qutbuddin Aibak is the main ruler and also the founder of the slave dynasty. He started the construction of Qutb Minar also. During this period, the main language is Persian. Another famous rulers of this dynasty is Shamsuddin Iltutmish and Razia, the Sultana Razia, and also the Ghiyasuddin Balban. Iltutmish is the third sultan and Razia is the fifth sultana. But Ghiyasuddin is the ninth sultan. Second dynasty is the Khilji dynasty. Jalaluddin Feroz Khilji is the founder of this dynasty and Alauddin Khilji was the main ruler. Their capital was Delhi and language was Persian. And next one is the Tughlaq dynasty. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq established the Tughlaq dynasty. Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Firoz Shah Tughlaq were the other main rulers. Their capital and language also was same as that of Khilji and other dynasties. The next one is the Sayyid dynasty. Its founder is Khisar Khan Sayyid. The capital and language was same. And last one is the Lodi dynasty. Its founder is the Bahulal Khan Lodi and Sikandar Lodi and Ibrahim Lodi were other prominent rulers of this dynasty. The capital and language have no any difference during this period also. The sources of sultans. Written accounts from travelers and also from other recordings have prominent importance in the study of Sultanate period. Ibn Battuta, a Moroccan traveler, imparted sound knowledge about Delhi sultans, especially about the period of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. In Persian language, for maintaining the historical works, they mainly used two words to represent the writings in history. They were the Tariq and Tawarik. Tariq means single or history and Tawarik means collection of histories, a group of histories. The writers of these histories were learned men. They wrote for rewards, for getting rewards. Among the writers, the gender distinctions and also birthright have a lot of influence. But some are different from this. For example, the chronicler Minhaj-i-Siraj. In his account, he mentioned that Sultana Razia is the most capable person or the capable sultan than that of other male sultans. So from this writing, we have to understood he never influenced by the gender distinction. While analyzing the expansion of sultans, we have to say that in the 13th century, Delhi was a fortified town by including hinterland and garrisons. Most of the garrisons were out of the control of Sultan, even though during the period of Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, etc., a lot of garrisons were constructed by themselves. For example, the Ziri. Garrisons, then do you know what is the garrison? Garrisons are the fortified settlement with soldiers. And then you also understood what is the hinterland. Hinterland is the land adjacent to a city or port that is supplied with the goods and services. So what is the garrison? Garrisons are the settlement of soldiers. Hinterland is the land adjacent to a city or port. The land nearest to a city or port. During this time, the sultans faced many challenges. Mongols, Afghans, and even their governors, whose sultans' governors, tried to attack them. When they were the sultan, when the others feel the sultan is weak. Therefore, the first attempt of sultans were the making of campaigns along the internal frontier. Internal frontier means inside the frontier. Internal frontier by consolidating the hinterlands and also the garrison town. So, what they do? By consolidating the hinterland and the garrison town, they make a lot of campaigns inside their city, not to outside. As part, they cleared the Ganga Yamuna Doab and expelled the inhabitants and their habitat, and they given this land to the peasants and encouraged agriculture. After that, the expansion through the external frontier started. As part, they started their military expeditions to South India also. They conquered the South India also. Then, during this period or in between this period, while in one side their military expeditions on external and internal frontier are going on, they also engaged in constructing a lot of masjids, mosques, etc. During this period, a lot of mosques and minaret were constructed. The first congregational mosque was also built by the sultans. It was the Quwat al-Islam. The Qutbuddin Aibak and Iltutmish built two minars. The main mosque of Jahanpana built during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Administration. The sultans never take any aristocrats as their administrative officers. Instead, they choose a lot of slaves called bandagar as their officials. Some of the governors and generals were their clients. They were kept loyalty to their masters, but their positions were not hereditary. That means the sultans were very clever. Because if the positions were hereditary, maybe the coming generation may not have to keep such loyalty to their masters. So they were very clever and they avoid the hereditary option in position. The Khilji and Tughlaqs were also appointed military commanders as governors of the lands. These lands were called Ikta. Which land? The place which were ruled by the military commanders, which were appointed by the Khilji and Tughlaq. These lands were called Ikta and its holders were named as Iqtadar or Mukti. Their main duty is leading military campaigns against their enemies, and also instead of that military campaigns, they got the right to collect revenue and to use this revenue as their salary. From this collected amount, they also paid salaries to their soldiers. So here one important question is coming. What is the Ikta and Iqtada? What is the Iqta? Iqta is the land which is ruled by the military commanders. In short, the land ruled by military commanders is known as Iqta, and its holders were known as the Iqtadar or Mukti. The positions of Mukti is also not hereditary, and there were also appointed supervisors to check the collected amount from the people. Mukti did not have the permission to collect more tax than prescribed by the state government, and they must have to ensure that they kept the required number of soldiers. So what is their duty? When collecting the tax, they must have to keep a fixed number of soldiers. They have no right to collect more tax from people and also to keep less number of soldiers. Hinterlands bring under the control of sultans, the Samanta also compelled to accept the sultan's authority. The sultan forced the Samantas to accept their authority. And now we are going to check about the taxes which were collected from people. There were three types of taxes were collected from the people. The first one is on the basis of cultivation or the tax collected for cultivation, and second one for cattle, and third one on houses. During the reign of sultans, they conquered almost all part of the Indian subcontinent. It includes South India also. But after their conquer, the areas like South India, Bengal, Ganga Valley, etc. were went out of their control soon. The forests were also make a great problem to the sultans. And during the time of sultans, the Mongol attacks also reached in a peak stage. It became a great challenge to the sultan's rule. At last, in the 15th and 16th century, their power began to decrease and the rulers were namesake. This faced a lot of attacks and at last the sultan gave way to Mughal Empire. Thus, the ruling of sultan come to an end. In your chapter with the Delhi Sultanate, they also discuss about the concepts like three orders, knights, crusades, etc. So, let us have to check them. The three orders, it was formulated in France in the 11th century. It divided the society into three. One section of the society is for praying only, and the next section is for fighting, and the third one is for tilling the land. The praying means priest, fighting the militaries, and tilling the land they were the cultivators or producers. This system was supported by the churches. During that period, the authority is under the control of churches. Therefore, this paved way for the emergence of a new warrior group called knights. The church patronized this group and also propagate the idea of peace of God. As a result, the church authority compelled the authorities to send these knights to conduct military campaigns against the Muslims who captured the city Jerusalem. These campaigns are known as crusades. Now, our chapter is over. I hope all of you understood the video, and if you have any doubts, please clear with me in WhatsApp. Okay? Thank you for all. Bye.